Well, good morning. We have 7:30. We've packed up, cleaned up, double checked everything, and we're sure to have forgotten something, but that's life. So now we're on our way to Bunnings, and then from Bunnings we're
Whyalla Heights.
Whyalla Heights on the way. We've got to do some to pick up something at the shops, so we'll do that. And you can see the weather in the distance. So I looked at the radar this morning at 6 o'clock, and you can see it going across sort of Edinburgh Air Base, all around that area. So we'll be having our trip with a slight side wind all the way through, but as we find in the interesting sights, I'll turn on the GoPro and fill you in on our trip, all for now. Like a year that we've mucked around trying to find where you could get those legs. So now we need an adapter for cigarette plug to 2 USBs that doesn't actually fall apart. I had one which was a single, and it just was woefully painful up on the Pt track, Unadata. The roads were just far too rough for it. So next stop, and you can see the traffic getting heavier, so I'm not looking forward to our petrol stop, because it's 20 cents a litre cheaper than anywhere else, so you can imagine the line up, but we'll see. I mean, if it's too big, just toss it. But it's good travelling weather. Car will never get hot. So 15 degrees at the moment. Okay, all for now. Eventually, what we'll find is that these showers will drop off, and yeah, we'll get some from time to time, but that won't be too big a deal. But this is exactly the weather that I drove home in from Pt down, and boy I thought, wow, this weather's really rough. Well, that weather was a little pussycat compared to what we've had over the last couple of weeks. So sit over on the left, and basically 90, 95 on the freeway, and just let people go, and then we'll work our way. We're going to go to Holman's Road. It's actually a station that we normally go to and get some pretty good fuel prices, but everywhere else we've seen, it's absolutely through the roof. Yep, it's pretty heavy downpour. Normally I've found Swansea to be a weather source. This basically comes in, and that's exactly what we've got. Intense and loud, and it's heavy rain, not light rain. So about the best thing going for it is the car's getting a good wash, and I'm happy enough to sit on the slow lane and following through. love this view. So for the best part of 40 years, I've come down this hill, or Whyalla Hill, and you look out over Adelaide, you can just see the beauty of the clouds, how they actually interact as you head down the hill. Smoggy days, you get a few of those. They're actually not all that good, but you can actually see right over Adelaide. You know, it's light showers. So with a bit of luck, we'll be out of that. Wait till we get at the other side of Adelaide for that. Alright. Well, we stopped and filled up with fuel, and we ended up picking it up at just below $1.60 a litre for 98, and the basic fuel costs for all around Adelaide from down south right up to Colbrook's Road has been $1.66 for 91, which would have meant that closer to $1.85 for 98. So we're quite happy about that. That makes a big difference.
Watch out.
It's 2 lanes. Now we have to do the back streets.
Looks like we're going
So
back
why
home.
has anyone stopped? So we go past. Terrible weather. Good old Michael and his push bike. So Trigger's still going, but they don't not anywhere near as big as what they used to be. I remember fixing up a trailer years ago in there. The bloody ramshackle joint back then. I love this section with all the sun shining through. Well, we've got the absolute opposite today. So there's a pink suit, and you can sure see it. So lights are on, headlights are on, and you can feel the wind picking up on the left hand side. Rather challenging. Yeah. So the speed's 90, which is not too bad. And we've got another railway crossing ahead. One person actually beat themselves. Yeah, it's not good. I think there's another lane here somewhere. Unless that guy did a jump in the air, there must be two of these that are actually travelling. Don't like this at all. Navigating through that was a bit of a quagmire. But I won't have to wait the car for a while. All for now. Well, really copped a bit of weather the last 5-10 minutes. So we're sitting on 100 k's, and when you've got a Mustang in front of you just sitting on 100 k's, you know that the road conditions aren't so good. Semi well ahead of us. Now this was cheap fuel, and there it is again, $1.39 for unleaded. So that's not bad at lower light. So there'll be a lot of people who don't fill up and wait till they get out to here. A bit further on, we've got another servo, which always used to be pretty cheap. But anyhow, on our way to Port Wakefield, we've got about another 47 k's to go. So Dublin's the next fuel stop. And so here's our second fuel stop, potential, and here it is, $1.42. So quite dramatically cheaper, and I guess it has to be for them to actually get some sales. If they were up at $1.60, well, there's no benefit, and the others would be they'd actually get the sale well before these guys. So price dictates. Well, we've got the most famous road work in history, and over the last 6 months we've gone past here a couple of times. Once going down to Yorks, and then another coming back, and then I didn't see much coming back from up north, but on the way up I did, and there was just truckloads of people working here. So in the actual form, I'm not sure what the workout is, but that was up here several weeks ago, but only one side, so they've got the whole lot now. So anyhow, with a bit of luck I'll catch this group. Thank you. So we have some nice sun on the road, a couple of birds flying around in the distance, and one just right in front of us, just fast. They are super duper fast, galahs, and yeah, the traffic's thinned out. My reversing camera decided to have a hissy fit, so I love this building over here on the left. All the glass has all been smashed in, and it'll be a lovely place to do up that one. Well, fantastic view. We travel all over Australia, and what do we find? A road train, and in front of the road train is and I don't know if I've got overtaking lanes are really good. You've got to time it well, and you just got cars doing all different speeds, which makes life a little bit more dangerous. So this guy will pass, no worries at all. But when you're covering a road train, they're not doing that fast, so they're 90 k's max. So I reckon we dropped into there before we had another name. So we're going over the main bridge across the water at Port Augusta. Some lovely little old boats, and you can actually see the roadway that they've been forming, which is quite amazing. So our next step is actually heading towards Wudinna. Okay, Wudinna. So we don't know how long that's going to take, but it is actually lovely conditions. Filled up amazingly right up at Port Augusta. We've actually got fuel that is cheaper than what we can get at Wudinna Beach. Go figure. Talk about screw the locals over. $1.66 for 91, and that would have meant probably around about $1.85, which is darn near as much as it was out at Andermuka. So this is the worst predicament out on the open road, where you've got a really long V triple, and you've got one car in between, and the V triple, to be honest, is actually the left-hand trailer, or the last trailer, is actually a good 300 to 400 mil across to the left, more than the rest of the bus. So it's pretty hard to see, and so unless we actually have a passing lane, we've pretty much got a snowball's chance in hell of actually getting past this guy. And that, unfortunately, is often how it works out here. You just have to sit there and find a spot. Now I can't see traffic for about 200 miles, but so now he's finally done it.
Wow.
They are big and they're heavy. They are really heavy.
That's cast iron. Just one pan's heavy enough.
That's right. They're massive. They're massive. And when I was up north, there were a couple of them. They weren't 3, they were 4. I don't think I saw a 5, but I did.
Yeah, gone on a bit.
Oh,
Hot.
what, you're hot?
Yeah, I'm hot.
God. I don't know. That costs money.
Thank you.
There you go. Yeah, it is a bit.
I'm used to sitting in 11 degrees.
This is funny. And now you're wondering why when I came home I froze to death. Yeah, so this is a lovely section of road through here. Funny story, the last time we were on this road, we were actually coming back the other way from St. Juna, and in my travels I had broken both of my spotlights. The brackets broke. 4x4 Super Center cheapies, and I'd had them for probably 12 months and had done quite well. The first one broke, and so I had some 25 mil, not 20 mil, 10 mil straps, ties, and so I tied the whole lot together. The lights actually looked like they'd attacked a porcupine because they had so many leads and tension on them to hold it all together. So we ended up having a power problem, which was ultimately the fridge, but we thought it was the actual red arc system. and because every now and again the red arc system drops out, and I am absolutely hopeless at Bluetooth. I've now finally actually got to the point where I can pair the Bluetooth, and without that you can't use the red arc system off your phone. So there we are, we're driving along, and we get to St Juna. It's 4 o'clock, and the power is not going too well. It's been a pretty wild day from Goog's track, so we decide to actually drive back home. So we're driving home. I put my spotlights, and one would actually shine along the road, the other would kept on tilting up, and so the truckies called me Batman, and so we could listen to them on the radio, and it goes, "Here's that bloody guy with the Batman symbol again," you know, the typical truckies, and that was how we got home. Now, the upshot to the story is 4x4 Superstore is has a pretty poor reputation. I thought, oh well, I'll send them a picture and say that, you know, they ended up sending me brand new brackets, all the hardware, the whole lot. They just in one afternoon basically, yep, we do have a problem with that particular model. Now, I've just done 2,000 k's over some of the roughest roads with those new brackets, and what I did do was actually add a 3mm piece of rubber underneath the entire bracket, and didn't even look like braking. So, to be quite honest, user error. My first set of lights I got from the Superstore lasted forever, but went a bit yellow after a while, and they had rubber, but I didn't use it. The new set didn't have rubber. So yeah, so this road has fond memories. So now we didn't get to see it during the day, so we'll have a good run to Kimba. We've got about 150 k's to go, which is pretty simple. It's not that hard. And here's our train line. We're just crossing over the main line once again, and this road is an absolute cracker. So along here a bit, I know that it turns off to the right and heads towards Kimba Wudinna, and ultimately we want to get to Paldappa Rock tonight. So I think we're right on schedule.
They used to cut their car on the back.
Yeah. Well, we've got a very old home over here on the far left hand side, and then in between that we've got 4 quite large tanks, water tanks maybe, I'm not sure, but lots of good advertising tanks, that's for sure. So passing the lane here, nitro funny cars, you've got, yeah, so it looks water for sure, and and of course whoever has the ability to put the latest football team who won, who didn't win, whatever. Alright, and then just up here we've got a parking bay where vans can pull in and stop for a while. Basically, I mean,